Just days removed from Hell in a Cell, we are live tonight from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Queen City hosts Thursday Night SmackDown. And hot off the heels of Bad Blood, this past Sunday night, where two SmackDown All-Stars stepped between the confines of the most demonic structure known to mankind, Hell in a Cell. The punishment Damian Priest met the Demon, Finn Balor, for the World Heavyweight Championship in the main event last Sunday night. These two old friends, now turned bitter enemies, went to war inside the Hell in a Cell structure. A matchup known to change your career forever, change your life forever. And I think it's safe to say that neither of these men will ever be the same. Well, after what you're about to see, Finn Balor taking the fall off Hell in a Cell, we can confirm that Finn Balor is going to be out of action indefinitely for the foreseeable future. But obviously in the closing moments of the matchup, it was the punishment, the Archer of Infamy, Damian Priest, sending the Demon south of heaven and capturing the Heavyweight Championship of the world. And after his crowning night in Miami, Florida, the new World Heavyweight Champion is live in Charlotte. A long time coming, as the punishment now holds the gold. A long road has been traveled for Damian Priest, not just in his war with Finn Balor, but in his entire career. This was a man who was never supposed to be here, never supposed to make it to the WWE, and certainly not supposed to make it to the main event, where he now holds the Heavyweight Championship of the world. You are looking at the new Kingpin of Thursday Night SmackDown. And I gotta say, that championship looks good over the shoulder of the Archer of Infamy. It has been a tough year for Damian Priest, but as we inch closer and closer to the end of 2025, I don't think Damian Priest could write a better final chapter. As we mentioned, Finn Balor going to be out indefinitely with some undisclosed injuries after his war inside Hell in a Cell with Damian Priest. We knew that matchup was going to change both individuals, but Damian Priest is the man standing tall. Damian Priest is the man holding the Heavyweight Championship of the world live on Thursday Night SmackDown. The Queen City is already rocking, waiting to hear from the new champion. Uh-oh. Well, Damian Priest wondering who's going to step up to try to hit that proverbial target on his back. Look no further than the Auszilla. Big Bronson Reed is on the scene. Hot off the heels over a victory over LA Knight last Thursday night on SmackDown. Bronson Reed's been very vocal about getting an opportunity at the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, Damian Priest ain't gonna back down from anybody. He knows they're gonna be coming from any and all angles, and Priest is ready for a fight. Well, Finn Balor was the only member of the Judgment Day who lost gold this past Sunday night at Bad Blood. Rey Mysterio taking down his son Dominic, capturing his 10th career Cruiserweight title. Later tonight, Mysterio set to go one-on-one with another Judgment Day representative in the Irish Ace, JD McDonagh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, oh, wait a minute. Hold on here. LA Knight in the ring with a steel chair to the back of Bronson Reed, who is still staring down Damian Priest in the aisle way. And a BFT to the Oscilla. Well, Bronson Reed used a steel chair to aid him in victory over LA Knight last Thursday night on SmackDown. LA Knight with a little retribution. Oh man, well there is unfinished business between those two top dogs on Thursday nights. Well, speaking of unfinished business, ladies and gentlemen, we take you back to Bad Blood this past Sunday where Drew McIntyre and Sheamus retain the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles in a hell of a battle against Motor City Machine Guns. Well, a new story is beginning to unfold because after the contest, it was the return of Main Event Jay and Big Jimmy, the Uso brothers, walking down the aisle in Miami and staring eye to eye with McIntyre and Sheamus. It looks as if the Usos are coming for Tag Team Championship gold. But if you want to make your way to the front of the line, you gotta start from the back and fight your way up. And tonight, the Usos are back in tag team action. A hell of a way to kick off SmackDown.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 493 pounds, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos.
Well, Jimmy Uso, the last time he made an appearance on SmackDown was back in August. Jay, right after SummerSlam as well. The Usos taking a little bit of time to go back to the drawing board and think about what's next for their careers here on Thursday nights. And it looks as if the brothers are standing side by side yet again. And they want an opportunity at Drew McIntyre and Sheamus and their WWE Tag Team Championship. Well, as we mentioned, you want to become top contenders, you gotta earn it here on Thursday nights. And I can't think of a more challenging way for the Usos to start that journey than going 2v2 with former WWE Tag Team Champions in Fraxiom.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 336 pounds, Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Fraxiom!
Well, the Usos, one of the most decorated tag teams in WWE history. But you were looking at two men in Axiom and Nathan Frazier, who earlier this year were WWE Tag Team Champions on SmackDown. And those two men know a thing or two about McIntyre and Sheamus as well. You're looking at the two men that Drew and Sheamus beat for those tag team titles all the way back in May at Clash at the Castle in Scotland. Well, just as the Usos made their presence felt this past Sunday at Bad Blood, Fraxiom making a look their presence felt here tonight in Charlotte. First time ever tag team matchup between the Usos and Fraxiom, kicking things off on SmackDown tonight. And you gotta believe that McIntyre and Sheamus somewhere here in the Spectrum Center have got their eyes on this tag team contest. For Jey and Jimmy Uso, it is about setting the precedent, following up on what you did this past Sunday, which is draw the line in the sand. Certainly could be a, dare I say, embarrassing loss for Jey and Jimmy if they're going to try to draw the battle lines against McIntyre and Sheamus and try to throw their name in the hat as top contenders for the gold, only to come back out the following Thursday on SmackDown and fall short in your pursuit of victory. That is about the last thing that Jey and Jimmy want to see here tonight, but they cannot underestimate former WWE Tag Team Champions in Fraxiom. Nathan Frazier and Axiom, quicker than a hiccup inside of that ring. They live by the mantra of never slow down, over the top rope and down to the floor. Oh man, I just got a feeling it is going to be an exciting night here on SmackDown. Hot off the heels of Bad Blood, the road to Survivor Series is on, and Nathan Frazier, springboard missile dropkick right to Jimmy Uso. There's a kick out early by Big Jim, but you gotta believe Jimmy a little bit thrown off by the quick hits of Nathan Frazier. Nathan Frazier, a man trained in this industry by Monday Night Raw's icon, if you will, future Hall of Famer Seth freaking Rollins. Nathan Frazier has already seen a ton of success, as has Axiom, but they're looking to find some new success, and it can start here tonight with, dare I say, what would be an upset victory over one of the most legendary tag teams in WWE history, and that being the Usos. Nice tandem offense that time by Nathan Frazier and Axiom, as Axiom comes in the legal competitor, and Jimmy Uso just trying new ground. The high-risk, high-reward mantra of Fraxiom here. Uso's best bet, don't get me wrong, they like to fly around this ring as well, but their best bet might be trying to slow the pace of this match down and just try to tame their opponents here. That they do, at least for the moment. Hot way to kick things off with this tag team matchup, but what about what we just saw moments ago? Bronson Reed interrupting Damian Priest's little celebration after winning the World Heavyweight Championship, only for LA Knight to arrive on the scene and drop Big Bronson Reed with a blood force trauma in the middle of the ring. Those two men with a developing issue here on SmackDown. It certainly took the next step after last week's events. Meanwhile, Axiom taking Jey Uso off his feet with a drop kick. And a shooting star press. And nearly putting away main event Jey, a former United States champion here in the blue brand. But Jey Uso's still alive. However, he's been brought into enemy territory there. There's another tag made by Nathan Frazier. Fraxiom looking to rely on some of that tandem offense against the Usos here in their return bout. Oh my goodness! Had Jey Uso tied up in the tarantula. Axiom throw a little super kick towards the Usos' way. Give a little taste of their own medicine, if you will. There's Jey sent to the opposite corner. Nathan Frazier, I promise you, has got jets in those boots, as we are seeing right there. Drop kick right to the side of the dome, and he's not done just yet. Frazier scaling the ropes. Said it before, we'll say it again. These men live by the mantra of never slow down. It's what brought them success in the past. Missile drop kick off the middle, this time to Jey Uso. And it could be a huge victory for Fraxiom tonight that puts them right back at the front of the line to get back into the ring with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus for the WWE Tag Team titles. Another tag made to Axiom, and more tandem offense by former champions. And these guys are looking sharp. I'm not sure Jey and Jimmy were ready for the fight that Fraxiom was bringing to the squared circle tonight. Jey's just gonna try to fight back. There's a kick of his own. Oh man! Paintbrush in the jawline of Axiom. Jey and Jimmy gonna put their money where their mouth is here tonight in Charlotte after they confronted McIntyre and Sheamus at Bad Blood. Drew and Sheamus have been dominant over the SmackDown Tag Team division, have held that gold since they defeated Fraxiom back on the 31st of May in Glasgow at Clash at the Castle. Usos looking to step up next, but Fraxiom right now standing in their way. Pop-up Samoan drop, a little bit of an assist by JD Jimmy. And Axiom still alive. Usos trying to regain some control here, and there you see the WWE Tag Team Champions Drew McIntyre and Sheamus keeping an eye on two potential challengers for their gold. McIntyre and Sheamus able to outlast Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin of the Motor City Machine Guns this past Sunday night in Miami, Florida. Now keeping a close eye on a team they know well in Fraxiom, and of course the team that re-emerged Sunday night, and that being the Usos. Jimmy taking Axiom off his feet, and again, this is what the Usos got to do. They cannot allow Fraxiom to be the ones to dictate the pace of this matchup. Jay and Jimmy Uso, although they love to go high risk, high reward as well, this is not the time to try to out-high fly Fraxiom in this situation. They got to ground these two men. That's what they've been trying to do, but there's Axiom catching the boot that time. Very impressive by the young man, and the Spaniard takes Big Jim off his feet. Almost a Superman punch-like situation there. And look at that crossbody. And Fraxiom just so fun to watch. It was earlier this year at the Royal Rumble, all the way back in January, that Fraxiom captured the WWE Tag Team titles for the very first time. Jimmy on the outside here. Oh my goodness, a poison run on the floor by Nathan Frazier. Holy hell. Fraxiom is out to get what they want tonight, and that is the big old victory here in the Queen City. What a pump kick off the top. That's gotta do it. No, Big Jim's still alive. Oh man, we have got a good one, folks, here tonight on Thursday Night SmackDown. Two hungry, motivated tandems, both looking to move up the ranks of the tag team division. McIntyre and Sheamus sit at the helm, and I think the only way those two men are ever going to be dethroned is with the highest of competition. Fraxiom have clearly stepped up their game since the last time they were in the ring with McIntyre and Sheamus. If they're going to do so again, they got to get the victory over Jay and Jimmy at any and all cost. Oh, crash and burn by Frazier. And a double super kick by Jimmy Uso. And the luck may be on the Usos side, but Axiom saving the day. Man, we have got a fight here on Thursday night. Down goes Axiom. Well, Jimmy Uso better watch from behind. Nathan Frazier off the schoolboy. No, he nearly got caught. Jimmy Uso nearly getting caught that time. Axiom trying to hang in there. Fraxiom have really put pedal to the metal in this contest, more than the Usos may have been prepared for. Nathan Frazier now sent to enemy territory as another tag by Big Jim. Main event Jay on his way. Little role reversal from earlier on. This time it's Nathan Frazier eating the Samoan drop from Jey Uso. And now Jay, pop up, neck breaker. And the Usos all of a sudden are starting to hit a groove. There is a reason they are one of the most decorated tag teams in WWE history. Oh, and Jay trying to go after Axiom. Trying to clear the ring of any and all competition. A suicide dive by Jey Uso. Gave Nathan Frazier, however, a moment of R&R as an enziguri by Frazier. Jey Uso's got to shake off the cobwebs. Frazier from behind. Jay able to shake him. Another kick to the abdominal and another uppercut. Open palm right to Nathan Frazier's jawline. Frazier looks rocked from my estimation. There's a tag to Jimmy Uso. Uh-oh! 1D! Nathan Frazier goes up. Nathan Frazier goes down with the 1D. a successful return for the Usos.
Here are your winners, Jimmy and JD Usos.
Well, Fraxiom giving these two men the highest of competition tonight, no doubt about it. But right in front of the eyes of McIntyre and Sheamus, who are looking on for the backstage area here in the Spectrum Center, the Usos get the job done and they return to action here on SmackDown. Hold on here. Well, we got some company in the Motor City Machine Guns. Well, the Guns falling short in their pursuit of the gold this past Sunday. Well, they might be sending a little message to the Usos saying, hey, the line still runs through us. Well, tag team competition at the highest, ladies and gentlemen, but we got some breaking news regarding tonight's main event. Bronson Reed and LA Knight gonna run it back from last week here on SmackDown, and the ante has been upped. The winner of this contest gets Damian Priest for the world title at Survivor Series. The battlefield will be set live. WWE returns to the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, in the city that never sleeps, New York City. It's the Fall Classic, where dream teams assemble, fueled by pride, vengeance, and the hunger to dominate. Alliances will be tested. Rivalries will square off, and the best of the best will collide to determine who will be the sole survivors. On one of the most important nights of the WWE calendar, only the strongest will survive. Presented by Noah Nation Gaming channel memberships, history will be made at the 2025 Survivor Series. We're back live in the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina, inside a sold-out Spectrum Center for Thursday Night SmackDown. The Judgment Day's Irish Ace, JD McDonagh, has got to be in some kind of mood after the events of bad blood surrounding the Judgment Day faction. Well, McDonagh looking to get the group back on track here tonight. Finn Balor wasn't the only one who lost championship gold, a part of the Judgment Day this past Sunday night at Bad Blood. Dirty Dominic Mysterio falling short to his father as well. And not only is Rey Mysterio already a WWE Hall of Famer, he is also now known as a 10-time WWE Cruiserweight Champion of the World.
And his opponent, representing the LWO from San Diego, California, weighing in at 175 pounds, the WWE Cruiserweight Champion, Rey Mysterio!
Well, Rey Mysterio had a couple of month hiatus here on SmackDown, but ever since returning, he has had one goal: to knock a lesson in respect into his son, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. In the meanwhile, Rey Mysterio capturing the Cruiserweight Championship of the World this past Sunday night at Bad Blood, so hopefully that was the wake-up call that Dominic Mysterio needed. Either way, Rey Mysterio just looks right with that Cruiserweight Championship in his hands. 10 times throughout his career, he has held that very gold. From WCW to his early days in the WWE to up to 2 years ago here on SmackDown, and then this past Sunday night capturing the gold yet again in a hell of a contest against his own son. Well, JD McDonagh, another former Cruiserweight champion, of course, Judgment Day representative, looking to get back at Rey Mysterio for what happened on Sunday night. And I'm sure looking to do one good with the Judgment Day's fallen brother, who will be out indefinitely for the foreseeable future, and that is Finn Balor. Judgment Day, or I should say JD McDonagh specifically, got to be in some mood, as we mentioned, after the events of Sunday night. Rey Mysterio, public enemy number 1 at the given moment. Rest assured, Rey is not going to back down from any fight. Rey Mysterio's willing to fight his own son. I think he's going to be willing to fight just about anybody, and that includes the Irish Ace. Last week on SmackDown, of course, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee of the LWO defeating JD McDonagh, as well as Carlito. Certainly was huge in setting the momentum on Rey Mysterio's side ahead of Bad Blood. And we saw Sunday night Dominic Mysterio try to rely on the same tactics as the first time around when he defended the Cruiserweight title against his father. Tried exposing the steel underneath the turnbuckle pads, but Rey Mysterio thought ahead as he comes right crashing into the LED post. Rey Mysterio came prepared, was ready for Dominic's underhanded tactics that time around. Rey Mysterio used it against Dom and sent his own son right into the exposed steel. Had a frog splash on top of it, and Rey Mysterio had took the Cruiserweight title away from Dom. Eye for an eye between father and son. Dominic Mysterio now two-time Cruiserweight champion, but that is in the past, and it is Rey Mysterio who holds the keys to the future. Off the drop kick, JD McDonagh looking for victory here. Mysterio still alive. Rey may not be feeling 100%. Very physical contest with his son on Sunday. But nonetheless, the life of a champion right back into the line of fire. You heard Damian Priest earlier tonight recognizing that now that he is the World Heavyweight Champion, he's got a target on his back. Rey Mysterio knows that feeling all too well. Look at the springboard into the Bulldog. Classic Rey Mysterio action. And Rey Mysterio also earlier this year, former WWE Tag Team Champion alongside Dragon Lee here on SmackDown, and now inching closer to the end of 2025 as the Cruiserweight Champion. As you can see by his movement inside of the ring and certainly by his list of accolades, whether Rey Mysterio is already a Hall of Famer or not, this man is not slowing down for anybody. He's moving better in 2025 than he was in 2005. Rey Mysterio's got JD McDonagh in a place where I don't know McDonagh knows what hit him. All over the Irish Ace right now. Rey Mysterio looking to turn away the challenge tonight, and I'm sure continue to add some prestige and lineage to that Cruiserweight Championship by defending against any and all comers in the Cruiserweight division here on SmackDown. Mysterio, once again, drops McDonagh, who reached out to grab the rope, then elected to kick out, able to muster it up with anything he had left. I don't think McDonagh, was putting the faith in senior referee Charles Robinson to witness the pinfall, or I should say witness the hand on the rope that time. McDonagh either way, getting back in control of this contest. Big time slam to Rey Mysterio, had Mysterio all the way up behind his shoulders. JD McDonagh, an incredible talent, former Cruiserweight champion in his own right. He did that before joining the Judgment Day earlier this year. JD McDonagh, I'm sure, maybe he's the one who gets another opportunity to become a champion in the Judgment Day if he can turn away Rey Mysterio in non-title action here tonight. Either way, Rey Mysterio's rally may have been halted in the middle of the Spectrum Center because JD McDonagh's got Rey literally pinned up against a brick wall. Figuratively and literally, but you understand the point. Mysterio now up top, and JD McDonagh in hot pursuit. I don't like this for Mysterio. Spanish fly from the heavens. Needing the ropes just to get to his feet. And JD McDonagh now, like a shark that smells blood in the water. Devil inside. Oh, and nearly knock it off the Cruiserweight champion Rey Mysterio, but Rey's still alive. Man, high risk, high reward. Beautiful execution and landed flush. JD McDonagh with that Spanish fly to Rey Mysterio off the top. And the devil inside on top of that. Unfortunately for JD, not enough to keep down this Hall of Famer. JD McDonagh started to get first-hand experience as to why Rey Mysterio had to aid an exposed turnbuckle several weeks ago here on SmackDown just to defeat his father. Rey, known as the biggest underdog in WWE history for a reason. This man does not back down. He does not give up. And JD McDonagh has got to be racking his brain. Now he's got to be feeling the effects of those shots by Rey. Sent back inside the ring is the Judgment Day representative here as it's Rey Mysterio's wheels that are a spin-in. Hurricanrana. Beautiful springboard by the Cruiserweight champion. Rey Mysterio now. Whips McDonagh off. And I think we know what comes next. 619. McDonagh in the drop zone. Frog splash by Rey. This one is over.
Here is your winner, Rey Mysterio.
Well, Rey Mysterio, first the LWO's tag team victory last week, then the win at Bad Blood, and now tonight, this Hall of Famer is wiping the floor with the Judgment Day as a late. Well, a big victory for the new Cruiserweight champion of the world. A resilient effort by Rey that works out in the end. Oh, wait a minute. Rey, watch your back. Your damn son is in the ring. Rey Mysterio from behind with his father's Cruiserweight championship in hand and just cracked Rey Mysterio over the skull with the gold. Well, looks like Dom hasn't learned any kind of lesson. Well, from one smug son to another arrogant champion here on SmackDown, we take you back to last week. The United States title was on the line. Aleister Black, the challenger. Austin Theory, the champion. Theory's had problems with Trick Williams dating back to the summer. Trick tried to give the edge to Aleister Black as he made his presence felt walking down the aisle, taking Theory's eye off the ball in the midst of this United States Championship matchup. Aleister Black tried to come from behind with that backslide that Austin Theory used on him 2 weeks prior. Theory was able to bounce up and in a moment's notice catch his challenger in Aleister Black with that inside cradle and snag away the victory from Aleister to retain the United States Championship that he has held since the month of July. Trick Williams' plan backfired. Theory still holding the gold. And now we get the pleasure, and I say that sarcastically, to listen to the United States champion Austin Theory, I'm sure, gloat about what happened last week before our very eyes and ears here on SmackDown. I take nothing away from the talent of Austin Theory. This man has improved greatly in 2025, has finally started to put the pieces together consistently, and he's got the results to prove it. The red, white, blue, and gold still around this young man's waist. And we can say whatever we want about his smug attitude, his confidence that sometimes is too much to handle. Austin Theory has been great in this calendar year, and he's got the United States Championship to prove it. Trick Williams, I'm sure, still gunning for Austin Theory. Aleister Black, after last week, I'm sure wants another go-around with Austin Theory. But I don't think Theory gives a damn about two men he has now beaten in his United States Championship reign. Oh, we got some company. Austin Theory, I think you're familiar with this man. The Tsar, the Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov. You know, Theory can gloat about all the men he has defeated in his United States Championship reign. But on my television screen right now, there is a man who Austin Theory has not defeated, whether his title's been on the line or not. Ilya Dragunov knows Austin Theory. They have been in the ring with each other in recent memory here on SmackDown. Ilya Dragunov walking down the aisle here in the Queen City. Well, Austin Theory can try to dismiss Ilya Dragunov all he wants. Dragunov's got a point. He has defeated Austin Theory. Theory has never beaten Dragunov. Well, if Ilya has set his sights on the United States Championship, Austin Theory better be prepared to go to battle with the Tsar. Can't get enough universe mode? PLE kickoff shows, live events, all exclusive to Noah Nation Gaming channel members. Hit the join button down below and gain access to more universe than ever before. News of the next Noah Nation Gaming channel member exclusive live event coming your way when we get to Survivor Series from New York City in Madison Square Garden. But tonight, it's the Spectrum Center in the Queen City of Charlotte, and the action is set to roll on. Well, earlier on, we had two teams from the men's tag team division squaring off, looking to move one step closer to #1 contendership. A little bit of the same situation here as Bayley and Naomi contest the Kabuki Warriors. Both teams looking to move up the ranks here on SmackDown.
And Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors.
Well, Asuka and Kairi Sane here on SmackDown tonight, but we take you back to Monday Night Raw 2 weeks ago when Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, the current women's tag team champions, retained their gold over Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. While SmackDown superstars making their presence felt on the red brand that night, the Kabuki Warriors arriving on the scene to call their shot against Becky and Charlotte. Gunning for the women's tag team championships are former champions in their own right, and that's the Kabuki Warriors. Asuka and Kairi Sane cannot overlook the opposition here tonight. Bayley and Naomi, a team that challenged for the women's tag team titles earlier this year during the reign of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Bayley and Naomi, just as the Kabuki Warriors are, looking to move one step closer to challenging for the women's tag team titles in the near future. A victory tonight for either team could do just that. Well, certainly a very interesting contest here on hand in the middle of the Spectrum Center in Charlotte. We were remiss if we did not talk about what happened this past Sunday at Bad Blood. Wait a minute, hold that thought. Asuka going for the early victory over Bayley. Not just yet. Asuka trying to throw Bayley, another veteran of the game, off her game. And there's Bayley now stacking up Asuka for the early pinfall. Who's going to get it done here? And it's not going to happen right there and right now. Bayley and Asuka trying to throw each other off their game, as we mentioned earlier on here. But as we were mentioning, this past Sunday night at Bad Blood in Miami, the highly anticipated last woman standing matchup between the challenger Raquel Rodriguez and the champion Io Sky for the women's world title. Io had defeated Raquel not once but twice on PLEs already this year. Coming into their third matchup, it was do or die for Raquel Rodriguez. And listen, she put Io Sky through the ringer. And that no countouts, no disqualifications, last woman standing match on Sunday night. It was not an easy contest for either woman to survive. In the closing moments, Io Sky and Raquel both trying to set up disaster for one another, and it was ultimately Raquel who took the fall off the top of a ladder. Io Sky delivering an over the moonsault off the ladder, then climbing back up said ladder just to put Raquel through a table moments later. Raquel was down for the 10 count, and Io Sky retained her women's world title this past Sunday night in Miami. Obviously, both women nowhere near 100%. I'm sure it's going to be a couple of weeks till we see either of them back in action here on SmackDown. The great contest this past Sunday night at Bad Blood, nevertheless. Right now, other superstars of the SmackDown brand taking center stage is Naomi, taking the fight to the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. Asuka and Kairi Sane, dating back to last year and early this year, former women's tag team champions here on SmackDown, really just overall in the WWE as well. Now looking to get back to the promised land, but so far standing in their way is Bayley and Naomi, who, as we mentioned, challenged for the gold earlier this year. And I'm sure would love to challenge for the gold yet again. Now we saw Drew McIntyre and Sheamus keeping an eye on the Usos versus Fraxiom earlier tonight, kind of doing a little scouting report, if you will. The two teams gunning for their gold. I'm sure Becky and Charlotte are doing the same thing here with the Kabuki Warriors, Bayley and Naomi. And look at this tandem offense by Asuka and Kairi Sane. Pair of boots, a knee right to the head. Naomi's going to be seeing stars after all that. Kairi Sane's been in the ring with Naomi in this calendar year. Naomi, one of the women who fell short to Kairi Sane during Kairi's reign as Women's United States Champion here on SmackDown. Kairi Sane, the inaugural one at that. Kairi and Asuka now shifting their focus back to the tag team division, just as Naomi and Bayley are. You want to talk about seeing stars? Kairi may be counting sheep after that enziguri. Kairi sent enemy territory. Naomi backing it up in a high-speed bulldog. Face first off the blue. And a tag made to Bayley. Naomi starting to rally. Bayley looking to add the icing on the cake. Kairi Sane down and out. The Kabuki Warriors momentum coming to a screeching halt at the given moment. And don't forget what is still to come tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Big Bronson Reed, the Auszilla himself, running it back with the megastar LA Knight. Reed using the steel chair to get the victory over LA Knight last week. That chair behind the referee's back that aided him in victory. But tonight the ante has been upped. The #1 contendership for Damian Priest world title at Survivor Series is on the line. It is Reed, LA Knight still to come here in Charlotte. Right now it's Asuka giving Bayley a run for her money. Out of the ring goes Bayley, but I got a feeling there ain't nowhere to run and nowhere to hide from the Empress of Tomorrow. Or maybe Bayley knew exactly what she was doing right there. The role model rolling to the outside and, dare I say, goating the Empress in. Now sending Asuka right to the barrier. Bayley and Naomi, I don't know if they can outstrike Asuka and Kairi Sane, but they might be able to outbrawl them on the outside of the ring. Get your hands dirty a little bit. Maybe exactly what Bayley and Naomi need to do to outlast the former women's tag team champions that they're opposing tonight. Asuka's on a wobbly foundation. Bayley, however, might have just got caught. Discus kick, full head of steam. Hip attack by Asuka into the cover. And Naomi gonna break things up and ensure that a 3 count isn't gonna be had. I think she might have caught Jessica Carr a little bit that time. Well, Jess, luckily for us, is a tough referee. I'm sure she'll shake it off in moments. Naomi, however, knocked off the apron, left her back open. Bayley trying to come from behind. Asuka, different story. Double spring to the drop kick. Bayley and Naomi might have shown their best hands here as the Kabuki Warriors have made their intentions clear, and they are looking to climb the ranks towards the women's tag team titles. Bayley set in enemy territory. Tag made to the Sky Pirate. Uh-oh! Could be looking for an insane elbow! Little assist by the Empress as well. Kairi Sane into the cover on Bayley. And it's a big win for the Kabuki Warriors tonight from Charlotte, North Kakalaki.
Here are your winners, Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors.
Well, they have had a reign with the women's tag team titles for a reason. One of the best tandems with or without gold in the WWE. The Kabuki Warriors, a strong message sent tonight, and get a load of this. In the Queen City, in her hometown, the Queen Charlotte Flair and her tag team partner Becky Lynch now turning the tables. Well, there is a women's tag team title matchup brewing between these two tandems, just as there is a World Heavyweight Championship match brewing at Survivor Series. But who will be the man that challenged Damian Priest for the gold? It's Big Bronson Reed and the megastar LA Knight coming up next from the Queen City. The battlefield will be set live. WWE returns to the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, in the city that never sleeps, New York City. It's the Fall Classic, where dream teams assemble, fueled by pride, vengeance, and the hunger to dominate. Alliances will be tested, rivalries will square off, and the best of the best will collide to determine who will be the sole survivors. On one of the most important nights of the WWE calendar, only the strongest will survive. Presented by Noah Nation Gaming channel memberships, history will be made at the 2025 Survivor Series. Earlier today, the phenomenal AJ Styles took to X and had this to say: "I've tasted the world title in 2025, and I am dead set on getting it back the old-fashioned way, by earning it. So next week, consider it an open challenge, one-on-one with the phenomenal one." AJ Styles looking to earn his way towards a world title matchup. It's an open challenge next Thursday night on SmackDown. And also coming up next week on SmackDown, consider it a grudge matchup between the Beautiful Madness Julia and the Judgment Day's Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, currently the United States champion. Julia looking to earn an opportunity in this non-title contest next Thursday night. But we have got to take you back to last week on SmackDown. Big Bronson Reed and LA Knight had crossed paths in recent weeks, both claiming they wanted an opportunity at the world title. Well, last week they met one-on-one. Bronson Reed grabbed that steel chair. We saw the frustration starting to come over Reed after he was unable to put LA Knight away. Instead of bringing the chair into the ring, Bronson Reed elected to expose the steel underneath the turnbuckles, which momentarily distracted referee Chad Patton. The fight getting taken to the outside as Chad Patton's back was turned. Reed using the steel chair on LA Knight, a tsunami later, and the Auxilla stealing the victory away from the Defiant One. Unfortunately for LA Knight, victory was not enough as a message was sent after the matchup, a second tsunami by Big Bronson Reed. And hence the reason why LA Knight came to Charlotte, ticked off, and wanted to get his hands on the Auxilla.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 241 pounds, LA Knight.
Well, I think it is only apropos that these two men meet again with the very thing that they both claim they want, an opportunity at the world title on the line. It is their desire to be champion that made their paths cross in recent memory on SmackDown tonight. They go at it again. Bronson Reed stood eye-to-eye with Damian Priest earlier tonight. LA Knight arrived on the scene, dropped Bronson Reed with a blood force trauma. Now they run it back here in Charlotte. Reed stole his way to victory last week. Will history repeat itself once again?
And his opponent from Black Forest, South Australia, weighing in at 330 pounds, Big Bronson Reed.
Well, Bronson Reed talked about his pursuit of the World Championship earlier in the summer this year. Earlier tonight on SmackDown, and Reed certainly has been hell-bent. He has left a pile of bodies in his wake. Win, lose, or draw, just being drafted over from Raw to SmackDown back in the spring. Reed's pursuit of the big gold belt, as he mentioned, not slowing down for anybody. And oh, wait a minute, LA Knight getting the jump on the big Auszilla. Well, after what happened last week, LA Knight looking to get his hands on Bronson Reed, and is doing so by picking up right where he left off earlier tonight. Bronson Reed has already been dropped with a blood force trauma within the last hour here in the Spectrum Center, and LA Knight looking to add some icing on that cake. The megastar came to the Queen City fired up. First, just looking to get his hands on Bronson Reed, and now has an opportunity to challenge Damian Priest for the world title at Madison Square Garden. Well, the bell has sounded, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, referee Chad Patton officiating this contest, and I'm sure is going to keep a lot closer of an eye on big Bronson Reed and any underhanded tactics he tries to employ here tonight. Number one contendership for the world title on the line. Bronson Reed hasn't even gotten his entrance code off yet, but LA Knight is not giving this man any room to breathe. And to be honest, I don't think Bronson Reed should be surprised, especially after last week, cheating LA Knight out of victory, and then a second tsunami after the matchup just to send a message to the SmackDown locker room. Both of these men have been very vocal about wanting to earn an opportunity at the World Heavyweight Championship. LA Knight, a former United States champion here on SmackDown, looking to move up the ladder. Standing in his way for that golden opportunity is the man who stood before him last week on SmackDown as well, and that is Bronson Reed. Reed challenged for the world title earlier this year, as we mentioned, and damn well may have defeated Ilya Dragunov all the way back in July for said world title. If it weren't for the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, arriving during that matchup, himself and Bronson Reed engulfed in a war with each other throughout the summer. Well, that is long behind us now, and the only thing standing between Reed and an opportunity at that same championship is the man he found a way to defeat last week. If Reed can do so again, Reed is going to be on his way to New York City for Survivor Series. Bronson Reed has just got to be careful tonight. He started to get frustrated last week, unable to put LA Knight away. We saw the guts and resilience of the defiant megastar on full display 7 nights ago. Now on top of that, Reed knows that referee Chad Patton is going to be keeping a little bit of an extra closer eye on the Auszilla tonight and not allow him to pull any shenanigans like he did last week. Reed has got to remain focused on the goal if he wants to go to Survivor Series, and has to find a way to defeat a former United States champion in LA Knight. Oof! Well, that's certainly one way to do it. Just running over LA Knight and using his weight as a weapon. Bronson Reed said it earlier tonight. He believes it's long overdue that a true weapon of mass destruction like himself holds the heavyweight championship of the world. Oof! And if this keeps up, Bronson Reed is absolutely going to go 2 for 2 against the megastar, but this is what happened last week. Just when you think Reed's got LA Knight put away, Knight finds a way to pop that shoulder up at the last second, and you saw the frustration written all over the body language of the Auszilla. Reed again has just got to remain focused. So it's got LA Knight in the corner. As long as Bronson Reed is in the driver's seat right now, LA Knight cannot take away his chances of challenging for the world title. Reed's got to make sure that LA Knight is the only thing standing in his way between himself and Survivor Series, and not LA Knight plus his own frustration. I'm sure the World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest keeping a keen eye on this matchup, especially after the threat by Bronson Reed earlier tonight. LA Knight came out here just to get his hands on Reed, and now has found himself one step closer to the world title. But I think Bronson Reed is about to put to bed all of LA Knight's desires. Vader bomb out of the corner. This one was nearly over, but again, LA Knight somehow kicking out. Bronson Reed thought he had this thing done and over with. I think Reed thought he would be home and dry at this point. And LA Knight continuing to persevere. Bronson Reed's got to realize LA Knight fought tooth and nail last week, and now at a world title opportunity on top of that, I'm not sure LA Knight is gonna give up. Death Valley driver by the Auszilla. But again, LA Knight kicks out. Man, what is it gonna take? LA Knight kicking out once more, ladies and gentlemen. This is a #1 contenders matchup for Damian Priest World Heavyweight title. The winner of this contest is moving directly to Madison Square Garden in New York City at Survivor Series. Oh, hold on here. Wait a minute. Well, this is what we saw last week. Bronson Reed going after a steel chair ringside. Reed uses that. He's going to get disqualified here. Oh, LA Knight putting the brakes on Reed, dropping the chair, and LA Knight hammering away on the Auszilla. Well, technically, a steel chair shot delivered by Bronson Reed would end up aiding LA Knight, and Knight would win this contest, but I don't think the Megastar wants things to go down that way. Well, that steel chair might have just been a distraction by Bronson Reed. Referee Chad Patton getting rid of the chair, and LA Knight all over Reed. Here we go, dropping the elbow, right in the heart. And a kick out by Bronson Reed. Referee Chad Patton a little bit shaken up. He got caught in the crossfire of LA Knight and Bronson Reed's blows for a quick second there. Not sure LA Knight would have had this matchup done and over with anyway, but either way, the matchup progresses. Whatever Bronson Reed had in mind with that steel chair, we've now moved on from it. It is LA Knight who has gotten into the driver's seat. Well, at least for a moment. Bronson Reed now sending LA Knight over the top rope. LA Knight able to break it. The Megastar dropping that. Bronson Reed, with a guillotine leg drop. Former United States champion of the Megastar trying to pick his spots wisely. Full head of steam, just sends that weapon of mass destruction up and over the top rope. And now the shot off the apron takes Bronson Reed down again, and LA Knight is starting to find a new groove. Oh, well, that's got to feel like getting hit with a tree trunk right to the skull. And now LA Knight's sent to the barricade. And these men fighting each other tooth and nail just as they were last week. Who wants the opportunity at the world title more? Who's going to Survivor Series? Bronson Reed tried to introduce that steel chair for one reason or another. Whatever he had in mind did not work out in his favor. And now the brawl has commenced at ringside here in Charlotte, North Carolina. LA Knight, oh man! Russian leg sweep right on the barricade. Referee Chad Patton's at a count of 9, folks. And on here. Oh, well, that sucks. Referee Chad Patton left with no choice but to count these two men out. But the fight is continuing, ladies and gentlemen. There is bad blood developing between LA Knight and Bronson Reed, and it might have just cost both of them a shot at the World Heavyweight title. Oh, LA Knight getting sent right to those diamond-plated steel steps, ladies and gentlemen, but Again, the story here is that they have both been counted out. Well, they really left referee Chad Patton with absolutely no choice, and now the fight is just continuing, and Chad Patton already got caught up in the crossfire of a couple of shots earlier. I don't think he wants to get back in between these two superstars. Well, LA Knight trying to fight back, not trying to fall short and be another casualty of Bronson Reed 2 weeks in a row. The brawl making its way back inside the squared circle here in the Spectrum Center. LA Knight getting caught by the Auszilla. And Bronson Reed takes down the megastar once again. The match is over, folks. We aren't going to have a #1 contender, but these two men out to get a pound of flesh out of one another. And I think after Bronson Reed's victory over LA Knight last week, and into the BFT earlier tonight, now he's looking to dismantle this man once and for all and try to make his claim to be #1 contender. Uh-oh, Tsunami! The match is over, but unfortunately for LA Knight, he suffers the same fate as he did last week. A tsunami from the Auszilla, and he clears the ring of the megastar. Oh, we're not done yet. The World Heavyweight Champion's here. Damian Priest coming to the aid of LA Knight. Well, a little late, but here nonetheless. Damian Priest coming to get him some of the man who threatened he was coming for the gold earlier tonight on SmackDown. Well, Damian Priest, no way he's 100% after Hell in a Cell on Sunday. Oh my goodness, and he just got dropped right on his neck by Bronson Reed, who's far from done. Tsunami on the World Heavyweight Champion. First LA Knight, now the World Champion. Damian Priest left for dead by the Auszilla. The match went to a double countout. We don't have a #1 contender, but what we do have is a World Heavyweight Champion in Damian Priest, who was just flattened, pancaked in that ring by that man, the Auszilla, Big Bronson Reed.